Welcome to episode 16 of Everything Under the Sun with your host, Pooja. Over 100 years ago, a writer named John Elfreth Watkins made a number of predictions about the future, some of which have come true and we consider them commonplace, and some of them didn't come true. So he predicted digital photography, mobile phones, and pre-cooked meals, to name a few. And this was around the year 1900. Imagine the time he made these predictions. They would have sounded so ridiculous and impossible, isn't it? But we are living this impossible in our day-to-day lives today. The other day, my cousin shared a short video clip. It depicted a scene from some kind of series where there's a daughter telling her mother that she got skin implants in her hand that have integrated her cell phone into her hand, so she doesn't need to carry it around. And this got me thinking, are we prepared for the future? It is approaching faster than we imagine. And when I look back at the last 20 years, it amazes me how it has slowly creeped into our reality without us even noticing. I remember as a kid watching this cartoon called the Jetsons. I'm sure most of you during that time might have watched it. So it depicts a family in the far, far future where they have flying cars and they have a robot as a maid. Although I don't know why the robot still wears an apron and her name is Rosie. I never imagined that in my lifetime it would be possible to see these changes, but we already have robot vacuum cleaners that go around the house, sweeping and mopping, and they even auto dock in their charging stations when they run low on battery. How cool is that? So, how far are we from the future? I mean, my neighbour already owns one of these. It is exciting to think what else will be commonplace in the next 20 years, isn't it? Now, my imagination is limited and I do not watch sci-fi enough to have any idea. Maybe I should. Astrologically, I am aware that 2020 is a year of great significance as we stand on the cusp of a global era change, the end of a 200-year-old cycle and the beginning of the next. Last 200 years belong to the element of fire. So we saw the dominance of coal, oil, fuel, the rise of countries that were rich in these natural resources, and also the rise of the Industrial Revolution. We also saw more natural disasters in the form of wildfires. The next cycle belongs to the element of earth. We will see the rise of agriculture, and any country that is investing heavily in agriculture will dominate. There will be wars for water rather than oil, and we can expect more earthquakes as natural calamities. Now, I got all this information off YouTube from this really great astrologer, and I like the way he presented it because he actually got historical evidence and then coupled it with the astrological changes, and that's what made it quite interesting. In our busy lives, we never pause and think how far we have come in technology. The millennial generation has seen it closer than we realize. I know millennials are defined as different age groups in different sites, but personally I feel people born between 1970 and 1990, we have known a world where we celebrated the day a landline phone came home. I remember that we sat around it expecting the first phone call with bated breaths. Or, when we were deciding as a family who was important enough to make that first phone call from that landline. And you will not believe we had to submit an application. It took 2 to 3 years for a landline connection to come. And then we used to fight with our siblings to hang the phone because we were expecting another call. Fast forward to today, we all have dual SIM mobile phones and cannot live without Wi-Fi. I still remember my first mobile phone. I got it when I was doing my master's degree. It was that Nokia phone with the torchlight. And I was thrilled with this 100 SMS per day pack. It did not have internet, by the way. I upgraded my phone when I started working and it had a VGA camera and I used to brag about it. I can imagine a few of you Googling right now what a VGA camera is. Now, before you start thinking, what is so unique about this generation? Even the generation before this experienced inventions like the television and the refrigerator. But think again. The very way of living in all aspects of life has changed over the last 20 years. It is more profound than any generation before this and is only going to accelerate. The other day, I watched a Tamil movie called Komali. It depicts a 15-year-old boy who goes into coma, and which is in the late 1990s, and then he wakes up, in 2018, and the world has changed so much, from flat screen TVs to high-rise buildings and shopping malls. Imagine if we had gone into coma in the 90s and woke up now. We would feel like we are in a sci-fi movie, isn't it? I remember as a kid going to the bank with my mom every time we wanted to withdraw money. So we had to fill out a form, stand in a queue. And it used to be fascinating to watch the bank teller count the money and hand it over. And if we wanted to open a fixed deposit, it was like an important event. And it took time. We had to sit there chatting away with the bank employees as they slowly processed the application, and we walked out with a physical certificate. I do not remember the last time I had to visit a bank in person. I now open my bank's app and can pretty much do anything within a few clicks. And thanks to this pandemic, I am not even motivated to visit the ATMs anymore. 95% of all my transactions are already cashless. So, the demonetization in India happened in 2016, and it was a huge change. It was an overnight shock to the country. And many people complained and cribbed, but I feel this was really good timing because it prepared us for the future of 2020. Right now, in Bangalore at least, from a pani puri seller to an auto rickshaw driver to anybody accepts money online. The world is fast moving towards a cashless economy, and more than that, it is moving towards a new currency altogether. The digital currency will soon take over, and the days of printing money are going to be like in the past. Technology has changed every aspect of our lives, from online doctor consults to gadgets that monitor our health, to online shopping with same-day delivery, and now with the pandemic to online schools. I distinctly remember a conversation I had with my brother many years ago. He described a smart TV that would connect with your phone, and with a swipe of, on your phone, you could see the photos on the TV. And I was spellbound just imagining about it. It is 2 years since I have such a TV at home, and I didn't even remember this conversation when I bought it. From live streaming weddings to getting Amazon e-vouchers as wedding gifts, from buying glasses online by trying them virtually with your photograph, to getting pets delivered at home by online shopping. I'm guilty of that. I bought my fishes and I also bought my birds online. I could have never ever imagined this as being possible or even necessary 15 years ago. I was on a video call with a close friend the other day, and I saw her son playing with his new hoverboard. And I remembered that I'd seen it in Back to the Future too, years ago. We're already in the future, isn't it? I'm not sure of a robot uprising, but I'm sure robots will soon be normal, sooner than we think. My 10-year-old nephew was describing his visit to this restaurant where robots serve food. So not long till all of us have our own R2-D2 or C3PO. Cool, isn't it? It's fascinating and scary at the same time. Long gone is our privacy with Alexa and Google Home, and our mobiles are already listening devices, I'm sure. When I search for a song on my mobile and then I turn on my smart TV and open YouTube, I just need to type a single letter of the same song and the AI recommends it. Sometimes I think it's reading my mind. Once I was traveling to Pondicherry, my flight landed and I just switched on my mobile phone while I was waiting to get off the plane, and Google message pops up, "Welcome to Pondicherry." And it creeped me out. I mean, how the hell did Google know where I was? Until I realized my flight schedule had auto-synced to my calendar. Thanks to Make My Trip. Whew. Hey, remember the time we used to travel without GPS? Like asking strangers for directions? Yeah, that time existed. I remember my parents driving us intercity, relying just on strangers to show the way. And it was fun. I think we all should stop and think, what could actually change in the next 20 years? Maybe watching sci-fi will help, and we will need an open mind. I truly believe we will have integrated mobiles, like, in our bodies. We click some button on our temple and then project a screen, and we may not even need to carry around laptops. Technology has crept up so stealthily in our psyche. We already have embedded medical patches, like drug patches for so many diseases, and who knows, Wolverine might also be a possibility. Won't that be cool? Something like the Matrix movie scares me. But we already have self-driving cars, so you never know. Do you think teleportation might come sooner than we imagine? I mean, that would be a cool way to travel. I can just think of Hawaii and then land there. This pandemic has really accelerated the need for AI and virtual reality. Companies are discussing the future of work 5 to 10 years earlier than they would normally have. The question then is, are we prepared for the future? Or are we just as oblivious as before? Something worth pondering, isn't it? Let me know your thoughts. Till then, stay safe and stay smiling. Signing off, your host Pooja. Loads of love.